Let's start rolling right into this. Maybe in like not a creepy way.
Yeah, I'll have to do it with my wife in the room. You could be eating a box of Eggos every single day.
With maple syrup and bacon. Roll out of bed. I just comb my beard, brush my teeth.
I don't even do half of that. Kissing babies and signing checks.
Oh, writing checks.
Breaking necks. Breaking necks. Okay, bro.
Yeah, go out, bro.
You want to just start over again?
Let's do it all.
Okay.
Welcome to the PM&A podcast.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
What is going on?
Welcome to the PM&A podcast. Dudes, ladies,
Another one.
people, world, how's it going? Guys, thanks for listening. As you all know, we are brought to you by Wavemaker Brewery, which is located in Cambridge, Ontario at 639 Laurel Street. Guys, they do some amazing stuff at this craft brewery down in Cambridge. They make amazing beer. The dudes who run it are rad as Chad. They are just straight up awesome. Unfortunately, with the COVID-19 stuff, the actual store, the tap room is closed. But the cool thing is that you have to believe that they have... Ernie, what
I don't want to believe it.
Can you believe it?
I don't want to believe it.
They have a really awesome patio. And patios are pretty rare and they're pretty cool. But they always do some good stuff. They had like vendors coming out, making food. Like seriously, Wavemaker.
I don't believe it.
They're doing some good stuff over there. So if you're not in town, if you're not around, but you want to pick up some of the beer, you can actually order it online. They have the online store. They accept like Visa, the e-transfers. You can get a hold of them. You can order some beer.
Goats, livestock.
Yep. Or if you can, they're still doing curbside pickup. The storefront's open from Wednesday to Sunday. Opens at 12. But if you're looking for what's on tap, what they got going on in the beer fridges that they have, go on the online, jump on their Instagram, check out what they got. They do amazing beer.
They post that pretty regularly.
Wavemaker makes really good beer, guys, and just get down there and try it, and it's amazing. The guy's a genius. Like just do it. Go to Wavemaker Beer.
Get off your ass and fill up your glass.
Yeah, that's great.
So Jer,
What's up?
apple pie.
Apple pie?
Yeah.
I love apple pie.
Apple martinis.
I've never actually had a martini.
Well, get a load of these apples.
Whoa.
The Bearded Lumberjack now is one of our sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Part of the flock, part of the family.
Welcome to the cult.
Welcome.
Whoa.
Welcome to the team.
One of us.
One of us. He has been generous enough to also give us a promo code PMA Pod
To the listeners?
to the listeners for 15% off
So
store-wide.
listeners can get a discount?
Yes, they can. Yes,
Tell us
they can.
For what?
So, here's what we got from Johnny. We got oil, lip balm, and a ton of apparel that he's got. Some really, really good oil. He has a couple little balms that he does, but he's got things like tobacco and leather, Cubans and cognac, the old-fashioned, just a whole whack of great
The
stuff.
Bearded Lumberjack is amazing.
But yeah, so if you missed out on our draw that we just did,
Yeah.
just hang on. We might do it again. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. Just stay tuned. But
Stay tuned.
till then, get down there, head down to his Instagram, or
Head down,
to
head up,
head down.
Head on to the online.
Get
is
on
it,
down.
Is it down or up? Who knows?
Who knows these days? Get on.
It's up to you, the listener. What could be you? Keep going.
Yeah, guys, head down to the Bearded Lumberjack and head down to his Instagram. He's got a website, and you guys can order some great locally sourced beard product. And yeah, take care of your beard.
And your backs with shirts and hats, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's what's up. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 47. We want to say what's up to Woodruff, right? Is that how you pronounce your last name?
You got it, man. Woodruff.
Awesome, rad. Adam is the owner, operator, CEO, all around rad dude who owns Machete Premium Cuts, the clothing brand. Man, what is up? It is so cool to talk to you.
Hey guys, what's up, you guys? How's it going?
Good. I creep your Instagram quite regularly, just so you're aware. So
You do?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
His
Not
clothing
your
brand.
personal one. Not your personal one.
I was gonna say.
Okay. You don't have the OnlyFans subscription.
No,
yet.
it's not. Well,
Whoa.
it just lapsed.
Oh.
We had a discount code.
I had the wife came home early the one day, so I'm like, I'm a fan of his clothing.
It's a phone. Yeah,
So-
clothing.
This is research. This is research.
So man, you started. So is it? Am I right to say you started Machete Premium Cuts in 2004? So you've been doing it.
Yeah. 2004 would be 16 years this August.
Holy smokes! So,
I know.
So why? How? Like, why did you guys like? So you were saying. I think we were talking before, and you were saying you started it with a buddy of yours, but now you're just like. So why'd you guys start a rad clothing company?
Originally, it was. To be honest, I just wanted to make stuff that, like, he and I wanted to make stuff we could wear.
Yeah.
And at the time, I found a lot of skate brands and stuff were just doing, like, the small, tiny logos in the middle of the chest, and it just wasn't all that interesting to me.
Yeah.
So he did graphic design for a local screen printer. And we were like, okay, like, you know, I've got the business connection. He had the art, and then we had a connection with the printing and stuff. So we're like, let's just try and do some small runs, sell them to friends, see what happens from there. And there was no big plan. There never was. So yeah, we just kind of started printing stuff off, and slowly but surely, the build kept kind of growing and growing and growing. So
yeah,
that's
like,
how that started.
Who does your art? Like, where do you come up with the concepts?
So concepts, it's a little bit of a combined effort. Matt Tobin actually was a huge contributor for years. He did a lot of the artwork.
Yeah.
At this point in the game, I've been working mostly with tattoo artists and Canadian tattoo artists. There's a few American ones as well I've worked with, like Jimmy Litwalk, a friend of mine, Johnny Graves. I've worked with Hungry Hearts, who's from here in Ottawa, my buddy Simon Ackroyd in Cornwall. So we just kind of spitball ideas back and forth. And what I try to do is figure out, like, okay, what's your style? And can we incorporate it into the Machete theme? Because I feel like we kind of have a bit of, as much as our stuff's different, design wise, like, you know, you put them aside, they still kind of have a flow, and everything always kind of has a little bit. So I've always tried to retain that a bit as much as possible, which is pretty tough, to be honest. So, especially if you're going between artists.
Yeah, you guys have some pretty like heavy stuff. So I have that hoodie you came out with the wolf on the back that says "The world owes you nothing." I posted that photo a couple of times. I was actually up in Kingston 2 years ago, and I went to the penitentiary, and I was wearing that hoodie around there, and this guy was like,
"Oh shit,
man, that's a sweet hoodie." I was like, "Yeah, it is a sweet hoodie. It is like my favorite hoodie of all time." Like,
It was a hit around the pen, was it?
yeah. Nobody was there when I was there.
Okay.
So, but you have like these crazy like logos, and like you have the like basically on the one sweater yours says "Go fuck yourself," like.
And the hat.
Yeah, straight up.
So, like...
I love that they're called the PMA hats. Like, that's awesome.
What do you mean, NPC? What do you mean?
No.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I try to tell people we're not angry. We're just trying to promote self-love. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well,
we're just trying to have fun with it. Like, I get a lot of people always say to me, like, oh, like, initially looking at your brand and then meeting you, they're like, I thought you were this maybe aggressive guy, a little intimidating, but then, you know, I'm just super laid back. It's all just for fun, bit of a goofball.
See, I thought it was a tip to the hat to the podcast because PMA hats. I was like, well, you're welcome.
Sounds like it. No. He's been around longer than us. We took it from him.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Probably.
No. It's positive vibes. So it's not even the same.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
So years ago, I think I was on Instagram. I can't remember where I fell into your brand, and then I was like, for me, I'm the same way like I am with tattoo artists, with music. I don't want to jump into a brand unless I ask a couple questions. Unless I'm not going to put my money towards something that I'm not going to support. So I think I messaged probably you, and I messaged you and said, "Hey man, I want to know what your brand's about." And you totally I'm like, "There's no way you're going to message me back." You were probably like. You had like 10,000 followers. I'm like, there's no way he's going to message me back. And so you did. And I was like, what? And you were like, this is all about DIY, do it yourself. You're like, the world owes you nothing. You said like this really cool thing. And I was like, boom. I'm like, that is the coolest thing ever. I couldn't believe you messaged me back, but B, you like your story and the background and why you did it. And so I was like, okay, I'm buying this stuff. I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff. Like, yeah, that's what
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like my direction, it's always been, like you said, the DIY and everything. I feel like sometimes I get a little distracted with the direction of, like, why I'm doing the brand. It's just, again, it's a passion of love to do it. I enjoy doing it. But, yeah, I'm glad you took a positive note of it because I probably just verbal diarrheaed you with all this random stuff and wasn't really, like, I don't know. I'm glad it made sense to you. Like, I actually would love to look back on that and be like, what did I write?
I'll find it. It's probably a couple years ago though. Like, so I've bought a bunch of stuff, but it was a while ago. And then I remember being like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some stuff. Like I said, I'm like that. We've talked about that in the podcast before. Like, I won't get into certain music unless like it's a rad guy like Liam from the Cancer Bats. You know him, right?
Yeah. Oh, Liam's amazing.
Yeah. So we had him on the podcast about a month ago, and like I've been a huge fan of his, and like I got into his music because A, I like the music, but B, like he's such a cool guy, and all those guys like J Bones and like all those guys, they're all super awesome, just like positive dudes, and like that's like what people should put their money into, not just like random things that they're not in. You feel like you're part of it, like if. Yeah. You vibe with what you put out.
Yeah, like that underground club, and that's always kind of what I wanted to establish. I don't want to just be like fast fashion or a trend brand. It's like I want it to be something that lasts a little longer, and it's more about the people who wear it than the actual brand. Is how I feel in general.
Yeah.
So you started out with shirts?
Yeah, it was just T-shirts and hoodies. We started with. I branched out into several things. I mean, obviously, you stick to T-shirts and hoodies. That's something that people go through a lot. So, but it's fun to do. Like, we've done skate decks. I've done those several times. I love skate decks. I used to skate. I'm getting back into it now that my son's getting into it, which is really nice. So yeah, we will be doing decks again soon. I've done swim shorts, towels, hats. I'm trying to think what else. Like lanyards for your keys.
I have what is it? I have a magnet on my fridge that says is it the world owes you nothing? The two, so it's like the hand and the snake.
Oh, trust no one.
Trust no one. That's on my fridge.
Yeah. Oh, nice. You still have that. Yeah. I got to start doing magnets again. Everybody loves the magnets, man.
Yeah.
So
just a fun little additive.
How many designs did you start it with?
When we initially started, I think we had 3. So the first one I ever did was, actually might be able to find it for you if you give me a sec, but it was this Michael Myers mask, and it's kind of like a splatter effect.
Yeah, I know.
And with like blood and stuff. It was very basic and generic, but like, I don't know, we just thought it was a rad image. And again, at that point, we didn't have a real direction with the brand. I still feel like I don't. I'm not like one of those brands where, there's trad brands and then there's like your goth brands. I feel like I've always kind of dabbled in just a lot of different genres because I'm into so many things myself, right? So it's like I never really wanted to pigeonhole myself or the brand.
That's awesome.
Well, and especially too because you could say now that the market is just flooded with people doing old traditional T-shirts.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of the. I was talking to somebody in the industry recently, and they're calling it clone brands. You see one dude, and it's like everybody, and it's unfortunate because I see a lot of people stepping on each other's toes, or I've been called out where people are like, you ripped off this artist or whatever, and then I'm like, I look at the design that we put out, and I'm like, well, that was out like years before they were even around, and not to say they ripped me off by any means. We probably the problem is everybody's kind of pulling from that same pool of ideas now. Yeah. So we're all kind of stumbling over each other's toes with that, right?
So I have a question. Yeah, exactly. I got a question for you. So if I went online and I found a design that I liked, that I just looked up a Google image, didn't look up where it was from, if I were to transfer that, give that to a T-shirt making place and they put it on a T-shirt, is that a copyright thing?
There's actually, you know what? It's funny you bring that up. I have got hit with copyright laws before. But it was okay. So we're in Canada. It's a little different in Canada. And it was an American people that were trying to hit me up on it. And in the end, they had no rights to sue me or whatever they wanted to do. But what they had sent me was essentially like a bully letter. So they were just expecting me to be like, oh, here's cash, like don't take me to court sort of thing, right? That's very common. So it's a lot trickier when it comes to copyright than you think. Because I've literally had people rip off, legitimately just take my full design, put a band name over it, and then sell to a band, and then the band puts it out. And usually I don't give them shit because I'm like, you didn't know, you hired some guy to do this work, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that, I think there's just like this, there used to be, I'm seeing less of it now, but there used to be this like kind of name shame thing, like, if you put this out, we're going to kind of let it be known, and then people would take it down. It's just a respect thing, right? But I feel like there's, again, like all the brands that are popping up now, there's just so much of the same stuff, and I don't think anybody's really paying attention anymore.
And that's just it. With social media being as big as it is now, and everybody posting taking a picture of what they had for breakfast, like it's hard for it's hard for your brand that you may have accidentally copywritten to end up online and be like, hey, 18 other companies have that T-shirt. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, to just snag an image off Google, not smart. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. get somebody to redraw it, right? And if they redraw it, then again, if they change certain aspects of it, there's like, oh, well, it's this percentage of difference, right? So it can be construed as not a copyright, just a homage or whatever. So I don't know. There's so many rules with that, and honestly, I haven't had too much to deal with that. Just a few things come up, but it's never gone anywhere further than generally. I had the idea first, and then something else. But I was like, I don't think they even knew that my design existed when they came up with theirs, right? So,
So how many people do you have that are in charge of like designing shirts then now?
There's not any one specific group at any time. I'm working with a few artists right now. There's a buddy of mine, Matt from Kelowna. He just finished one. That's going to be the next one coming out probably next week, which will be out by the time this comes out. I've got a friend of mine, Aaron James. He's also doing another design. So there's about, I think, 5 people I'm working with at the moment.
Cool.
And is that like your core 5, or do you try and branch out just to say?
Yeah, I switch it up now. I used to have kind of like Tobin was my core guy forever. Matt Tobin. He did so much of my consistent work. But like, I mean, that guy's just killing it with Mondo now. He's so busy. He doesn't have time to do, like the stuff for me anymore, which I totally understand. This guy has these massive, like, licensed movie posters, which is like, dude, my whole collection at my house is pretty much all his stuff. Like, we're still tight.
Wow.
But I just kind of, I don't know. I just dabble now, more or less. Like, because I find if you use consistently the same artist, everything kind of starts just looking a little bland. You know what I mean? So I try to get different perspectives on things all the time.
That's interesting. So my question, one of my first ones I was going to ask you. So why do you live? So man, I can't even formulate it.
Why do you live and why?
Why do I live and where?
No. Hang on. So
what color is the sky?
So I'm going to say this right. So I feel like the whole ethos is like this world owes you nothing. Why do you want to put that in a brand? Why did you want to do that? Why is that so important to you that you wanted to put that in a brand?
I thought it was just basically, it's a good lesson to learn in life. I mean, growing up when I was young, you're ambitious, you have all these ideas, and you think the world should work this way and there should be justice. I mean, especially with everything going on right now. You start realizing that, like, nothing is fair. Everything you actually want, you got to work for and hustle for, right? So, I don't know, that whole it just came into play with that, and I was like, yeah, this world doesn't owe you anything. You should fucking earn it, essentially, right?
Right. And I think that's really important for over the last maybe 5 or 6 years. The idea of like the millennials kind of taking that on, thinking like, well, I'm owed this, I'm owed that, and I'm owed like. There's so many people or so many this younger generation being like, well, I'm owed that, like you owe me that, like this is like I don't have to work for anything. It's like no. Look
at the whole the GoFundMe culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
Don't get me wrong. There's tons of cases where I'm like, you know what? These people definitely need it. They're in a bad spot. But then you see, younger kids like, GoFundMe my new car. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I worked a whole summer slaving at a hot farm, dying in the sun all day just to buy this shitbox car. You know what I mean? Like, I used to have to hustle for that shit. These kids are just expecting people to hand it to them now.
Yeah,
I'm
like
no,
start exactly. Like start an OnlyFans, show me something, right?
Oh,
like,
bro, what's going on here?
Earn it.
Jesus.
Earn it. Dance monkey.
So, and I remember looking on one, and they're like, "Oh, I have a GoFundMe so you can like help my dog get a leg surgery." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds important." And then I would go on their page, look them up, and saw like a month or like 2 weeks earlier, they just bought themselves all this bullshit. I'm like, you're bad with your money, and so you're just like, you want a handout? That's all you want. You're just like, you're not working for it. Like that's very, very common. Like, but you're
not learning anything by that. You know what I mean? There's no consequences. There's no. You're not learning any kind of work ethic or anything, or the value of money even, right?
Yeah, you're basically just looking for a handout, and then maybe like a year later, you're gonna be doing the exact same thing because you're like, oh, that worked before. And then I don't have to work for it, so I'm just gonna get some more free money from people. Like, I don't get that mentality. So first off, thank you for putting out this brand where you're like, the world owes you nothing. I've said that like probably like 100 times in the last like 2 years to people. Like, the world owes you nothing, man. You got to work for everything you got. Nothing's ever easy. Like, just you got to put in the work, and that's what's up. Like, it's just such a cool thing for people to be walking around on with like their clothes. I think that's really cool.
No. Well, I'm glad you liked it, man, because honestly, I feel like I feel like a lot of people take it very negatively. Some of the stuff I put on there.
Really? Like what?
It's always positive. Well, like the go fuck yourself, obviously. The other day I'm standing on my lawn and like my neighbor walks by with their kids and I'm like, hey, you know, waving them. I'm like, she's giving me a look and I look down. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But again, that was just a quick situation. She probably doesn't understand it. But
yeah,
the trust no one too. I've had some people being like, oh, well, that's unfriendly. You know, like I'm like, no, it's not. It's meant to just be like, you know, keep your guard up, be careful, let people in, but the right ones. You know, like watch for red flags.
Yeah, I have that shirt. I have that black shirt with the gold. The gold on the back, the gold leathering and stuff that says "Don't trust no one." I think that's what.
Is
it
that the one with the hand in the snake?
Yeah. It's
I
so
really
cool.
like that logo. I want to get something with it.
It's awesome. And I walk the same thing. Like you walk around with these stuff on, and I think one of our buddies has one of your toques that's like bright orange or bright green that says "I'd rather be masturbating."
Yeah.
How many of those hats do you sell?
To be honest, you want to hear a funny story about that?
Yeah.
The biggest purchaser of that I'd rather be masturbating was moms with teenage sons. I couldn't believe it. I was dying. Every time they're like, oh my God, this is perfect for my son. He's always jerking off. And I was like, whoa. Like, sold tons of it to them. Like, yeah, it's weird. You wouldn't believe some of the demographics that weird shit sells to. I'm always surprised as hell.
That kid's a real handful.
And but you have a lot of like interesting people who promote your brand, right? Like you have a lot. Like you have what's his name from Protest the Hero? I forget his first name.
Rhodey there.
Rhodey. And then you had like some Suicide Girls. I think I saw on like one of your pages, right?
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Anne. So that's a buddy of mine's wife. A lot of these people. So it's been like kind of like a natural progress of how I've met them and stuff. Like, and a lot of people always like. I got a lot of bands messaging me being like, "Yo, I want to be sponsored." I'm like, I don't do sponsorships. Like, will you hook up so and so? And I'm like. A lot of these people I do hook up are either bros, and a lot of these people still purchase it from me. You know what I mean? Like they're happy to support, which blows my mind, and I'm so thankful for it. And then I try and return the favor too. It's like they've got an album coming out. Put some money into that. They need a favor with this. Put something into that. It's kind of a little tit for tat sort of thing. Yeah, a lot of cool people. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Wild Band. Those guys are great. Dylan and all them. Ben, they're amazing. Again, natural progression. It was a friend of mine who joined the band years ago, and that's how I met them, and we've just maintained a friendship over years.
Yeah, it's just connections. Like,
well, that's the thing too. Yeah. Like we've just started getting into sponsors. Like just after we've been doing this for about a year, and we're like,
2 years, man. For 2 years,
almost 2 years. But I'm saying after a year. After a year, we were like, why don't we try and reach out to some of these guys because we've got a decent following right now. And our Instagram is doing great. Like, why don't we see if they would want to pair up? Because, we could promote their brand, and then we could meet in the middle somewhere. And it's worked out great. Like, we picked up another one this year, and it's worked out.
And it's local stuff too, right? And it's something we care about. Like, they have a good following and stuff. And I was asking you how you kind of got connected with some of those people.
Just again, like I said, shows. I used to be in a band back in the day. Little punk band, and then promoted shows. I did a lot of promoting for a while in Ottawa. So that's how I met Matt Tobin from Den Divine. I was friends with the promoter of the show he was doing or whatnot. They needed a place to crash. I was like, yo, come back to my place. Next thing you know, it's like years later, we're still buds. You know what I mean? So it was always just kind of an organic kind of progression with that. Honestly, I think about some of the people I know, and I'm always like, man, I'm surrounded by so many amazing creative people that are so rad. And it's inspiring, to be honest. Like, a lot of the time, that is my drive. It's just being like, you guys are all doing something that I think is amazing, and I want to just keep pushing and do my own thing too, So
yeah, it's like they're inspiring you, and you're inspiring them, and kind of piggybacking.
Well, I don't know how much I inspire them, but
well, you have a sweet brand, man. Like, it's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you're not just putting hearts and stars and
it's
rainbows.
Good. Well, being humble is awesome because then you're always pushing to better yourself. That's that's definitely.
I don't want to get a big head, man. Like, no way, not me. Hopefully not.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So we were asking you about your story and why it's important that you promoted the brand the way it is. Like, the world owes you nothing, and go fuck yourself. Like, why did you feel like that part of that kind of a brand was cool? Like, why did you want to do that? Like, did you think if I do this, I'm not going to sell a lot, maybe I should do something a little bit different, or you didn't really care?
To be honest, a lot of it isn't that pre-thought out. It's randomness that comes into my life, and I just go with it. So the Go Fuck Yourself started with me just doing stickers and putting them in people's packages as a joke. And then people were like, I either had people being like, did I offend you? Did I do something? I'm like, no, it's funny, you know. And then other people were just kept like getting emails being like, yo, I got my friend has this sticker. Are you making any more? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? It's just the demand for it. People wanted it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, people dig it. I thought people would be offended, and it just kind of went with it. Again, anything that I do that seems to be a negative, I don't know what it is about the people that I seem to. Well, I guess it's the circles I float in. You know, the tattoo industry, music industry. We always take negatives and like use them as a positive almost. And I think that the people are just attracted to that. I think it's funny, and then in the end, it just becomes a thing.
Yeah.
So there's no like well thought out process. It just kind of happens naturally.
Yeah, but it comes out and it's awesome. Like people. And I like what you do sometimes when you have like your older clothes, and then you put them on there, and you have like a day window for people to like outbid each other. Like that's a really cool idea.
See, that's my attempt to GoFundMe.
Oh.
Whenever I had my my front transmission case on my car like exploded like a grenade out of nowhere. I literally had all these bills come up like you know, I paid everything off. I was like, we're good. That happened. So I was like, okay, I have all this old stuff that's been stashed. I'll do a bid. You know what I mean? So at least people are getting something out of it, right? I'm not just asking for a handout.
I've tried to bid on a couple of those things. I never get them.
It gets salty, man. Some of the people, like I love people for what they do for it, but then some people get a little angry at each other in the end, and I get messages, and I'm like, no, come on, we're all gonna love each other, guys. Like, I don't want this to be a battle.
Yeah, well, they'll just have to spend money later on. That's all. But it's like, because initially it's like a really good deal on something cool, and then it's like, oh, it's already at $60. Like, I'm all right. Like, I'm not going any higher.
But I try to toss in some extras the higher it goes, just because I'm like, I don't know, I appreciate it, and I don't expect people to go too crazy with it. But
yeah. So this is now your full-time gig.
Yeah, this is all I've been doing last 5 years. So
wow.
Yeah, it never meant to be that way. I always wanted to kind of keep it just a side gig, and I was delivering. Actually, the last job I had, I was delivering blood for Canada Blood Services. So I would drop blood off at hospitals, and all this like internal corporate stuff was going on. I hadn't gotten a paycheck for like 2 months, and I was like, this company's kind of falling apart. So I was like, you know what? I looked at the numbers with Machete. I was like, I can make a go of it. I was like, I'm not going to be making what I used to be, but like, why not? Like, give it a shot, run with it. So that's what I did. I quit my job and just went on this full time.
Dude, there's so many people we talk to. Like, do you know the guys from Toronto, Indestructible, that brand? Do you know those guys?
I don't know them personally, but yes, I do know the brand.
We talked to those guys over a
couple months ago, yeah.
And like, so most people that we talk to that have like these like little side business, and like we have this guy who's a part, like we're promoting his stuff right now. He has like a little beard care kind of thing. Like everybody has another job. Everybody has another passion. Yeah. Everybody's doing, not to say that this is like, yeah, they have nothing going on. But you're the first person we've talked to that like you started something really rad, and then you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking do it. That's so cool.
I'm just gonna run it. I got, to be honest though, I had 10 years under my belt, right? So
of what?
It's like I had built up like 10 years of Machete, right?
Oh yeah,
already under my belt. So I had the clientele built up, and people like the brand was established. It's hard, man, to make it a full-time go, like just right out of the gates. And I have a lot of people asking me that, and I'm like, I don't recommend it. I'm like, be safe, keep your job, and do this as a side hustle, you know. And if that opportunity comes, take it. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and your previous job was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, right?
Oh my god, shut up! What the fuck? This is a classic. Ernie's like, oh, I gotta think of something stupid. Oh my god.
Well, that's always the fun stuff, right?
Oh man, we have a blast. Yeah, we have a blast.
Do jokes and you know,
so
shenanigans.
So how are you? I've been reading about this thing called the punk rock market. That's a thing, right? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
So are you part of that?
The Ottawa one. So that's like the first one ever, like that I know of. I'm sure there's some somewhere else, but in the whole like Ontario, Quebec region, that one's been going on for like probably 12 years or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It gets put on by Spectrasonic. They're one of the big punk promoters in Ottawa. So they just started it years ago, and it's just every year it kind of kept going and going and going. So. And then now there's one in Toronto. We've got like Montreal has
London.
The Loser Jamboree, and then you've got the one in London. So
what? That's like a music fest that you guys set up a booth or what?
No, it's just like
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, small businesses. So it's essentially like record stores, hot sauce companies, jewelry companies. It started a lot of the times it was people just getting rid of like kind of like a garage sale or flea market, and they were literally just selling some old stuff. there used to be some rad toys. Like I got an entire original set of Ninja Turtles
What?
from this one guy. He sold them
way.
$1 each at the weapons, belts,
No.
everything. I literally bought everything. I was like, dude, you're charging me $1 each for those? Like, are you insane? That's it. So
He's just like, I'm gonna get rid of them. My wife
Wow.
hates me, so I gotta get rid of them.
Ugh.
Probably.
Well, it's harder to find stuff like that now, and I find like we've been doing. A friend of mine, Worn by Warriors Jewelry here in Ottawa. Her and I have been doing our own market the last few because where they did the Punk Ottawa flea market one, I guess it got gentrified the building, so now it's all offices and stuff, and they don't have the venue. So I don't want to step on toes, and I said, you know, like I'm going to do a market for a while until they can get back on their feet and do another one of theirs. So we did one in December at the. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of House of Targ in Ottawa.
No.
No, it's like a sick venue. It's like a pinball venue, but they have pierogi dinner and then beers, and it's just all rad bands always play there. Yeah, it's such a rad vibe. It's all like black lights with pinballs and video games everywhere.
Wow.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we set it up there because it makes it fun. People can hang out, play games, eat some pierogies, and then do some shopping. Right?
That's awesome.
What was that thing that Nick was doing online? What was that thing called that he was where he was selling his shirts and that? What was that called? That's what it reminded me of. It was that thing where he was going to put all of his old merch online. It was called like a music or a garage something or
I don't know. I have no idea.
garage sale or garbage sale.
I have no idea.
Well, there goes that thought.
Yeah, that goes at that.
Urban sale.
So during the summer, so you don't have like a storefront, obviously, right? It's all online.
No, I almost got into that, but honestly, man, I think brick and mortar is like dead. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for me, and I have so much stuff come in and out regularly.
Mm-hmm.
There's just really no point. Like I don't do mass volumes of product. I never do. I never really want to.
Yeah.
So it's in and out quick. There's no point in me having a storefront. Like I can do everything. I have a home office. I've got a stock room. I've got like the office area where I do all my cutting and everything. So it's fine to do it all from here.
So it's all
Also
from your
travel.
home? Sorry, it's all from your
everything's
home?
run from my house. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, everything's run from my house.
Stop.
Which is nice because I have kids and
Yeah.
my wife tattoos, so she can be at work for long hours and I'm here with the kids. So, you know what I
Awesome.
mean? It makes sense that, yeah, I love it. It's just a perfect dynamic.
And then you can save money on childcare.
Babysitting.
Yeah.
Now, what you need to do is get yourself a babysitter like that guy got on the Tiger King. That's what you need.
Oh, God, yeah.
That was gross. He's like, if I gotta look at her, she's gotta look good. It's like, geez.
Well, if you've seen my wife, I pretty much already have, her.
Well
in the
played,
house
sir.
anyway.
Well played.
Rad.
It's not a babysitter. She's my wife. I
Punch
love
it
her.
up.
Yeah.
Good
Don't
job,
punch me in
man.
the face for hearing that later.
So you don't have the whole bricks and mortar thing. So do you go on tour with a lot of music festivals? Because I remember, I think it was a year ago, you had your merch kind of destroyed at a show, right?
Yeah, that was rock. Oh my God, I love and hate Rockfest. So where I live, I'm literally 20 minutes away. It's one of the main reasons I do it.
Mhm.
It's an amazing music festival. I don't know what's going on with it anymore. But yeah, I guess so. We set up the tent the night before. I had everything on skids inside, and we like tarped the whole thing down because I knew a storm was coming that night, right? So I was like, I went crazy. I even tarped down all the like bins of stock and everything. So somebody cuts into the side of my booth looking for electrical outlets, I guess, and then they threw all these wires in there. But not only did they do that, they didn't know what was in the pallets all wrapped, so they cut open the skids to look.
Oh.
And then they just left everything open. Yeah, so I get there the next day, and I'm just like, what the hell? There's a massive hole in the side of my booth, and all my shit's soaked now at the bottom. Like, I couldn't believe I was so... And then I called them over, and the people who were in charge then, not saying people are in charge now, but they're just like, sorry. And I'm like, that's it? Like, I had to go through insurance and that, and I got nothing. I got peanuts back on what got destroyed. It sucked.
But
So.
did you end up selling any of that stuff that was wet? I thought I saw you trying to do
People were
that.
trying to buy it off me there, and I felt weird about that. 'Cause some of it was so stained, like literally mud stained. I even brought stuff back and washed it. They weren't coming out, man. It looked like almost tie-dye because it was so stained. So yeah, it was just like a river of mud going through the bottom of my booth. It was
Oh,
crazy.
frick, man. Because I remember seeing that, and I saw a lot of people were supporting you, were being like, no, let's see if we can send you some money because you lost a bunch of money, and like they cut open. And I saw the photos and stuff, but
A lot of it just got tossed, man. It was just disgusting and moldy and gross. So I ended up just going in the garbage.
yeah.
But that being said, last year, a good friend of mine, Matthew, he does a lot of booking. He ended up getting me a booth there last year to like kind of compensate for the money I lost.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got so they kind of like made it right last year, which I really did appreciate. So
So being online, like especially now, like that's got to feel pretty good. Like you're like, okay, I'm still gonna be all right. Like I can still continue as business as usual. You don't have to worry about, so much with the
Oh, you mean the COVID stuff?
COVID stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? Like that's
Yeah.
got to feel pretty good.
It was terrifying at first. I had no idea what was going on with the economy or anything, so I was just holding on to cash I was making, and I wasn't like, I'm actually behind the ball right now on all the new summer stuff because I was like, should I spend this money? Am I going to need this? Or we're not, like, is business just going to stop online? But things kind of continued regularly. The only thing I'm not doing is the traveling to events, like tattoo events across Canada and music festivals. So that income is gone, which is, it's a bummer. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It could be a lot worse. Like, I'm in a good situation. I'm not spending money going out or anything because, I'm obviously quarantined here in the country. So it was scary, but it's been good.
Yeah, I'm full of stupid promotional ideas. So here's one for you. They Instagram Live. You ever thought about like just taking a hat, putting it on your head, going on Instagram Live and be like, okay, this hat, who wants it? Like I know you did it with the live auction. Is it a live auction like that though? Like is it like with chat and all that?
Yeah, I don't do a lot of live stuff. I don't know why. I honestly, this gave me anxiety talking to you guys. I'm this weird person. In person with people, I'm great. I love people, but when it comes to like that weird promotion and stuff, I'm always like, oh man, like it just makes me feel so uncomfortable. I don't know why. I've never. Yeah, but I wanted to do it. You guys are great. And I was like, you know what? You're gonna get it done. You're gonna do it. So
That's awesome.
So we had some dick and fart jokes just to alleviate
the live promotion. I'll do like a story pose, but I don't generally do live. I also don't really like my face in the limelight.
Yeah,
like I've always said from the get go. I'm like, I want it to be about the brand and the people who wear the brand, not me. And funny story, for years I had like interviews with like magazines and stuff. And then they would always randomly snap a photo off my page that was like one of my friends. So I'm like, Adam from Machete Premium Cuts. I'm like, that's not me. Like, that happens so many times. Or like people would come up to other people at events and be like, you were a piece of shit to me. I met you at this event. I'm like, that was not me. And then they describe, and then they meet me and they're like, oh yeah, it wasn't you at all. So
oh my God.
I wanted that alias for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like it took us, I remember when I was following your brand, I think someone mentioned, like, it took me a while to kind of like, not that I was creeping trying to find you, but like I was trying to figure out who really runs this thing. Cause you really like, you're in the background. You're just like, this is the promotion. And it was funny because Ernie and I were just talking about that. We do art for the podcast. So when this comes out, there's going to be art.
You guys don't mind. I'm sorry.
Dude, no, be sorry. Well, you're doing us a favor. We wanted to talk to you. You don't want to talk anyway.
I know. I just don't want to be a pain in the ass.
Dude, no, sir. No, man. We got 2 hours booked. We're away from the wives. This is what we do. This is our Friday night thing. We're hanging out too, so we don't get. Yeah. Perfect. Anyway, so we were talking about how you don't like to put your face out there as a product thing, and Ernie and I were just talking before we were doing the podcast. Is like. He's like, what art do you want for the art to promote this podcast?
I did one, but it didn't have like.
But
your face
he's
or
like,
anything
because there's nothing there. So I guess that's a double-sided.
I did a good one. Like it's not a bad edit. Like I did it with a couple of your product, all the way to contact you and all that.
But you would rather not put your face on your stuff.
No. I don't mind the face like in this. We're doing a little interview. That's totally fine.
Okay, cool.
If you guys need the logo or whatnot, it's that Jawbone logo. That's like everybody knows that logo.
That's the one I use. I'll send you a copy of it so you can see it before we release this podcast.
But so I guess we were just asking. So you were saying a large part of your annual income is shows. Like, so where do you usually go? All over the place, or?
Yeah, I've done Kelowna. There was a big show there, a music festival show, as well as tattoo. They combine it. It's a really cool show. I've done this year. Okay, let me think. Last year, what I started with, I did Winnipeg in February. Then there was like Edmonton. I always go to Edmonton, Calgary. I love both those cities. Always amazing there. I do Rockfest usually in Montebello, which is only 20 minutes from my house. Toronto, there's the Knicks show. This year there was the Covered Expo as well. I've done Montreal. Pretty much try to bounce around as much as I can. Like Winnipeg's been amazing. I love Manitoba. Honestly, I went there, I don't know, 3 years ago, I think was the first show or whatnot. And it was kind of a gamble. Everybody's like, what do you think, Winnipeg for a show? And I'm like, give it a shot. You never know. Because small places, especially a place like Winnipeg, they don't have anything around, right? So everybody flocks because they're like, oh yeah, this is rad. I'm going to come here. And the support I've been given there is insane. It's insane. So I'm going to keep going back.
That's awesome.
Winnipeg.
You ever thought about going to like the States anywhere?
I would love to go to the States. It's a nightmare. I have in the past, back like like 2009, like earlier days. But now with getting everything across the border, they just gouge you with the brokerage. So unless you're doing some sneaky deaky, like having it printed there and then arrived at your booth, which totally could be done, but then you gotta like hide everything on your Instagram and stuff, right? Because I don't have a working visa to go down there for that.
Right.
So there's just a bunch of legal stuff. Honestly, I would love to do more in the States, but it's just a huge gamble, like a big gamble. So maybe eventually I'll figure it out. And right now I'm just too busy. I'm honestly having trouble just the amount of things I'm handling. Personally, it's the time, right? So I do about 10 to 15 events a year, so that's at least once a month I'm gone traveling, and then the rest of the time I'm just handling everything here, hammering it out.
So now with all the time that you have, like now you have a little bit more time to get caught up on this, and I know you were saying you were worried about releasing more product with the what's the word?
The summer stuff, COVID.
With COVID and all that, slowing down the money and all that with the economy and all that. But like now with all this time, like what have you been kind of putting your effort into now, would you say?
To be honest, I feel like I have less time than ever just because the kids are constantly home. So it's like if I'm trying to do anything like dad. So I'm trying to like balance that, like, you know, spend time with them, you know, get the yard work done, food, all that stuff. But like it's been busy, man. Like planning right now, a lot of my stuff is going into planning. So all the new stuff will start dropping, like pre-orders next week for new items. But honestly, I don't feel like I've had a lag in time just with the kids, man. Kids eat up so much time. I mean, it's great. I love it. It's just they're time burglars for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. What have you released something that like that it was like you were expecting it to be like, oh, this is going to be a grand slam, and then when it came out, you're like hitting refresh, it still says not. Yeah. Dude,
I have this conversation with a lot of people where there's items, some designs where I almost don't even want to put them out. I'm like, I hate that design. I don't know why this got done, blah, blah. I put it out. It's a banger. Just destroys. Then there's other ones that I'm like personally very attached to, think it's so amazing, and it's just so slow. And you can't predict it. Like, it's so hard to predict, you know?
Have you got
it happens all the time.
Oh, no doubt. Have you had them where they've taken a picture of where they've gotten your design as like a tattoo? Have you had a lot of that where they send you a picture, be like, well, I really like this, so guess what I got?
Yeah, a lot of people are very actually respectful about that. They always ask, and I'm always like, if it's one of my logos, go for it. You don't even have to ask, but people are super sweet and ask, and I appreciate that. I had a recent piece done by I don't know if you guys know the tattoo artist Jimmy Litwalk from the States.
No.
Anyways, he did a sweet shirt for me. It's like the two snakes kind of coming together. It says Machete Premium Guts. There's two snakes meeting. Anyways, a friend of mine wanted to get a tattoo, and I said the only way I can, sanction that is if you ask him, because he did the design work, and he would probably want to tattoo it. So,
yeah, like
that was the one time it was a no, sort of.
I like how you have that play, like Machete Premium Guts, Machete Premium Butts, Machete Premium
Butts. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, man. There's more coming.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, it's like if people can't see the humor in it, like. I could never pull off, unfortunately, I could never pull off a sweater that says "Go fuck yourself." I could never pull off one of your cool beanies, but like when but that's the cool thing is because they're so rare. That it's cool when you do see something though. Like, so I think one person saw me in my shirt and was like, "Dude, I love that brand," and I was like, "Oh," so we like started talking a little bit. And he was from Waterloo or something, and he was like, "I love that shirt, I love that brand. I have a couple of their hoodies and stuff." We just started a conversation because it's so rare. When you see it, it's like, "Oh, sweet! Like, that's so rad."
Yeah. Whoa. I love that it's become kind of like a little cliquey group with that.
It's like the Jeep Club,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I had some dude recently out in like I don't know where it was, Langley, BC or something randomly. And a guy was driving by him, and he had the allegiance to the North Decal, and he was honking at him. And the guy's like, "Fuck you, what do you want?" kind of thing. And he's like, "No, you're Decal." And he was like, "Machete." And then they're like, they pulled over and bonded over it. And I was like, that is so funny, the two guys, And they took pictures of their cars together, like with Machete Decals on it. And I was like, that is so funny, Like, it's cool to see that people kind of bond over it,
I gotta get one of those. I want one for the car.
It's a sweet sticker.
I know that logo.
And then you also had that giant patch you were selling for a while for like, right? Didn't you have a patch?
I've done several. Which one? Oh, the Allegiance.
The Allegiance,
one? Yeah.
And that was
I'll
rare.
Bring that back. That'll be one of our logos, and I'm gonna update it. I've got some updates on it, so there'll be like a 2.0 version coming out.
Yeah.
But people love it, man. And honestly, oddly enough, because it's not specific to Canada, I get a lot of sales to that randomly, like Australia, buy tons of that. I don't know if there's some Northern Australia thing there, but yeah, Australia, France, I get like all different places buy that and love it. So I'm happy. It's more, I was thinking Canadian because we're Canadian, I'm proud, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people really enjoy that. So
Dude,
that wolf one too is a banger.
I love that. Yeah, it's my favorite hoodie. But I was gonna ask that question. It's like, where's the craziest place? Like, what's your customer base? Like, what's the craziest customer base you've had worldwide?
I don't know, man. Well, okay, so demographically, my biggest market is Canada, which is really weird. Apparently, I keep hearing this from other like brands as well as like distributors. They're like, "How did you break into Canada?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "It's the hardest market to break into." And I'm like, "Really?" I never thought that. I don't know. Like, I've just always traveled across Canada. It's just been my major market. But even I know people in Canada, like there's brands here that start out, and right away it's the states that's getting them. And they're like, I'm having trouble getting stuff across Canada. I'm like, weird. I don't understand how I got so lucky with Canada.
Interesting.
But yeah, but we've had Australia, Canada, the US, UK, Germany, Spain, like all over the world, man, all over the world. So
that's gotta make you feel pretty cool. And you seem like a really humble guy, but it's gotta be like you'll be like sitting there and some guy in Germany is like driving down the Autobahn or something, rocking one of your shirts, your hats that says like "Go fuck yourself." Like that's gotta be a kind of a cool feeling to know that your brand has been like that, been like put out there.
My brain starts working like in this weird logical way where I'm like, he must know somebody from here. It was probably a gift, you know. Like that's how I start thinking about it.
Yeah, but that's
like he probably doesn't even know what it is. Like I don't know.
He probably found it. He probably found it in their Value Village version or something over there, and I was like, that's so cool. And actually, a friend of ours who runs a nonprofit organization called #Hope. He sells shirts, but it's for his charity. Like it's a whole charity thing where he raises money But so he posted, I think last year was the first time he went to Value Village and saw one of his shirts. And he's like, I don't know if this is a good thing or if this is a bad thing. And I said to him, hey man, people get fat. Like,
yeah, dude. I've found some like 16 years, right?
Yeah.
And I have people send me photos of stuff they found. Some of it, I'm like, I found one time, you know, the Sixers design we did, right?
Yeah.
Somebody had a hoodie in there for like $5 or $6, and I'm like, that's a score, and it was in great condition because I was like, if I put that on as a bid item, that would have went for an insane amount.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that guy got a score, you know, and I'm never insulted by it because again, like you said, people outgrow stuff.
Yeah.
Or it's just not their style anymore or whatever. So, but it's cool. It's a very cool feeling to see it there. You're like, I've made it. I'm in Valley Village.
All right, there you go.
VV Boutique.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some people are like, you know, I made $1 million deal. Me, it's I had a shirt in Valley Village. That's what's stuck in my pipe.
So he bought it, and then someone else is gonna buy it. Mind you, he's not making it. Yeah.
So without spoiling anything, is there anything that like you have like you've been kind of it's the product that you've been dreaming of putting out, but you haven't done it yet? Like, is there something that you're like you really want to do, but maybe it's a lot of money for the base product of it, and then to put your brand on it, like.
So something I've really been bugging me that I've been working on, and I'm working on it, but I can't give you all the details because
then you have
there
to
was
kill us,
factors of it that I wasn't aware until I started talking to people who deal in this with bikinis.
Oh.
So yeah,
there's a lot of money in bikinis. I know that personally.
But it's a really hard thing to do. There's a lot more. Like when it was a female and she opened up the books to me showing me, I was like, oh my god, there's all these aspects I had never thought about because I'm not a female, obviously, so I don't fucking think about all these things. But I was like, okay, so now I've been doing the planning, the groundwork. I wanted to do it this year, but with COVID, I got cold feet, didn't really know what to do, so it'll be for next year.
Well, we had somebody on that was that schooled me on bikinis on how much they're actually worth.
Yeah, but those ones are specific to bodybuilding, though.
Okay, so if de facto, that'd be the lane I would go. So right? So apparently you can spend like $900 on a bikini. You shake your head, but I had no clue.
Like, so
I've always tried to keep my prices like, here's how I look at it. I'm like, what would I pay for that? And if it's too much that I won't pay for it, I don't want to sell. I even have items like the, you guys seen the tiger camo hoodies I have right now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My cost on those, like, I'm supposed to be charging like $125 for those. Who the hell's going to buy a pullover hoodie for $125, right? So, I'm taking a bit of a hit on them, but I wanted to get them out. You know what I mean?
You put out good quality. That's the thing. Like, all of your stuff, it's like, it fits me perfect. I'm a bigger guy. I'm like 220, I wear your extra large, and it fits me perfect. And like the hoodies fit perfect, and the quality is just like it's up there. So people,
Well, I'm always trying, man. I'm always getting new samples in. I've recently switched 2 of my shirts, so I've got like it's like a heavy duty shirt, and then I've got like a thinner style one. But like again, I'm very picky about my fits, and like I don't like when stuff washes weird too, like if it shrinks up all boxy. So no to Gildan.
Yeah,
Gildan.
I do not put anything in the dryer. Like, I'm not putting any of your stuff in the dryer. That's for sure. No, like,
dude, I'm 6'2", and I don't care if they say it's pre-shrunk. Everything shrinks. So yeah, I don't even put it in the dryer myself.
I hate the dryer. It turns into like a crop top.
Yeah, I know. Baby shirts.
So that's what you got going on. You're gonna be working on like next year bikinis, but so what are you hoping for the fall? Like what are you looking forward to, like as in like is every day, do you wake up pretty stoked every day, like with you running your own business, like as like a business owner?
No.
No.
I mean, the reality of it, like, I still love what I do every day, and put it this way, my worst day doing Machete is probably better than my best day, the one I used to work in like warehouses, you know what I mean? So I always have that perspective of it. But yeah, there's days that are tough. Like I hate, especially when I have like a mental block, you know, you're trying to put out a new idea or concept. And then there's sometimes where I'll scan through so many different items and prints and be like, well, how do I want to do this item? And it's just like a brain block. And that drives me the craziest. That's when I go nuts. Other than that, like fulfilling orders, all that stuff, sewing, even weeding decals, I just love, I get like in the zone, put on tunes, just my jam, you know, but it's just those mental blocks is the only thing that I hate. And I have days like that and I just get frustrated. And I've just learned to put it away. You know what I mean? Like you take it, just if you get to that point, I'm like, you're just gonna make a bad decision because you're pissed off and you're not thinking. So just put it away, come back to it later. You know, do something else.
Yeah, you seem like, even on the online stuff, I like the way you deal with stuff. I think you posted about it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. People were complaining about Canada Post, and they were saying, "Why is my stuff so slow?" And you're like, "Listen, man, like you're getting stuff Canada Post. That's them. That's not me." And people were like,
"Yeah." It became a little overwhelming. To be honest, the real reason I put that post up was so I was getting a mass influx in my inbox, and I'm always happy to answer everybody as much as I can. So I'll just leave it on queue so I can handle it properly, right? So it might take a couple days. Some people are like every hour messaging, and I'm like, dude, every time you do that, though, you're going right back to the top. So then I don't end up answering your message for a week. Like, just leave it. I'll get to it. You know what I mean? So I had crusty, but somebody somehow got my phone number and started calling me.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and they were like, "Well, a mutual friend or whatever," and it was just one of those days where I was already like stressed out, and it kind of just got to me, and I was like, "Really reaching out to me on my personal level, like, you know what I mean? There's so many other aspects. You have my email, this, that, like, get a hold of me that way." And you know what? He was super nice. I wasn't disrespectful to him, but I just was like, "Dude, you gotta realize this is not cool. You know, you can't pull this move." So we talked about it. Everything sorted out, got his product and everything, but it just kind of triggered me that day, so I did the post.
No, it was not. It was like people that respect you and the brand. They got to know, like, you're a one stop. You're the guys doing it. It's just you. You're just rocking and rolling. Yeah. So they got to like take it easy. But maybe some people are just buying something for the first time, don't really look at the brand or watch the posts and stuff. Maybe that's why they were a little bit too like pushy. People are pushy.
Eager.
They're like, "Oh, I bought it yesterday. Is it coming tomorrow?" It's like, no, man. You got to wait like a little bit. Like.
And it's all chaos right now. To be honest, like, I've kind of just gotten into the groove of it, and I always try to be nice about it because, like you said, most people, like, I deal with this day in, day out, right? So they don't know. They might, like I said, they might have just bought something, expect it might be coming earlier. Also, with Amazon now, you have, like, it's so instantaneous. And even, actually, they've been a nightmare lately, to be honest.
Yes, they have.
They screwed up a massive order for me. They sent me whiskey glasses, and I was like, what the hell? It's supposed to be, like, boxes and boxes of other stuff. And I was like, why whiskey glasses? And I had to call them. They're like, oh, that other guy got your order and you got his. Just keep it.
What?
Yeah, like, they've been a mess. Yeah, they told me just to keep it. They refunded my order as well, and then
so you have like a
Machete premium whiskey glasses.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I'm sitting there going, I can make this a thing
already.
Yeah. Put some stickers on it. I'd buy one.
I'd buy one of them.
I wouldn't even use it. I just put it on the mantle.
Put it like a whole bunch. Like, don't do it a set, but do like different logo on each cup.
Well, I would do like a set, but it's like, 4 and each different logo. Yeah. Did you see the coffee mugs there last year? Kind of like that.
Yeah.
The mugs. But the only thing is, glassware is a bit of a nightmare. Like, you get it in. I had so much broken, and then the company was like fighting with me about that. And then shipping it, I have to pack it so good. Like, it's expensive to ship glassware, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to make sure it's safe and everything. And then people don't want to pay like $20 or $15 for 2 cups. So that's the tough part. I like doing it when I have events. It's better to have glassware for those.
Yeah, that's when you do that live thing, and don't do it for yourself. What you do is you get a turntable, and you do it kind of like the shopping network, where you put it on the turntable and let it spin slowly live. Yeah. You play a little music in the background. Yeah, order now.
Oh my god.
You pour something in. You can drink out of them.
So if somebody bought something off you and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be up in the Ottawa area. Can I just come pick it up instead of shipping it?" Has anybody ever done that?
I get that a lot, but I don't live in Ottawa anymore. I live between Ottawa and Montreal in the sticks.
Oh, cool.
So
don't tell us.
Yeah, I always.
What's your address right now?
Postal code.
We got your phone number. We don't want your address.
What do you make after taxes?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But see, like, that's the other thing. I got kids and a family now, right? And I've had a few sketchy situations in the past, and I'm like, it's not really worth it anymore. And, you know, I want to be nice to everybody, but sometimes you let the wrong person in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I just tell people, like, I'd rather just ship it. It's safer for me and, you know, everybody or whatnot. So
Yep.
I prefer to do it that way.
Straight
I'm
up.
at an event, I've had people order and be like, well, I'll be at this event that you're at. Can you bring it? Yeah, sure, totally. And I bag it up with their name on it and everything. I'll do that 100%. It's just weirds me out having people at my house if I don't know them at all.
Yeah.
You set out some patches, did you not? Of those, it was the wolf one, right?
What?
Was it like big patches?
Yeah, big like back patches. Yeah.
Yeah. Did anything ever come from? Did you ever see? Like, I wonder when people send those ones out, if there's like a group of guys that are on like motorcycles that are like, we found our logo. We're gonna throw this on there, and we're gonna make a club around this vest patch. Have you seen that?
But I've had like some, you know, like early or younger biker guys, I guess, with the tough guy attitude, like kind of push around people wearing them, be like, what is this? Blah blah. But it's like, dude, we're not doing the top and bottom rocker. It's just a center patch. There's no 1%. It's not a biker gang. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of bikers that wear my stuff, and I love it. It's just we're not a biker gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
There's been altercations, but like,
really?
Yeah, nobody's wanted to start a. I hope not. I wouldn't really sanction that. I would be like, I don't want to be pigeonholed into that specifically.
You're starting a cult, bro.
No, it'd be an RC, not an MC. So.
Yeah. Well, and I also have like a weird thing that everybody's always like, your main logo looks a lot like the Freemasons, and I was like, yeah, that was kind of the take on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the take on it when I created it, right? I wanted that look, like the underground, right? But I was also really weary, like, am I stepping on toes with this? And sure enough, I've had so many Freemasons tell me who they are, whatever chapter, whatnot, and they love my brand because it's an underground brand, and they like that, like, it resembles, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't offend anybody, but at first I was completely worried when people started approaching me.
Yeah. That's so interesting, man. That's so cool. Like, people are just like, yeah, this is like, we're also part of this underground group. We want to, like, we love your brand, like, buy some stuff. Like, that's so cool. That's pretty rad.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, oh, cool, like, trying to play it cool, but it was a little intimidating at first, I think.
Yeah. So what I don't know, what, of all the stuff you've made, what is, like, the thing you've been stoked on the most? Over the last 16 years of awesome things.
Let me think about that one. Probably my skate deck. I love my skate decks. Some of the prints that I've done, I love. Like, I'm a huge hand screen print collector. So there's a few that I put out that are. I have one actually. Matt Tobin did it, the design, and we did like the parody of the Evil Dead 2 logo with the skull.
Okay.
So we did that, and I met Bruce Campbell, and he signed it for me, and he was super rad about it. And so that's a coveted piece for me that I have on my wall.
Yeah, like an original, like, not going anywhere in a glass case kind of thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And it's personal to me. So, you know what I mean? It's special to me. Other people are probably like, whatever, but to me, it's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Jesus ones, and I think because we've got Jesus on your right-hand side right now, so I keep telling Jeremy we should get another Jesus one for the left.
Oh, on our
wall.
Oh, yeah, you can't see us.
You can't see
I was like, I don't see Jesus in it.
Yeah, no.
He's right behind you. No, I'm just kidding.
2 sets of footprints in the sand. Or one.
Yeah.
One set?
It's
Somebody's in the sand?
no sand.
You don't bring the beach to the sand?
Anyway, so if people can get a hold of you on, like, your Instagram, and they can get a hold. Do you have, like, a website, or like?
Yeah, there's so our Shopify site, so it's just machetepremiumcuts.com.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people the best ways to get a hold of me are Instagram or email. I'm on there nonstop. My Facebook, I'm a slacker with. The only reason I even have it is because it works better with Instagram algorithm if you have it.
Really?
Mhm.
So it's essentially the only reason I even have it. I'd rather not, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm banned live
It's
if it makes you feel any better.
I'm sorry?
I'm banned from live.
On Facebook?
Oh, really?
Yeah. They keep saying, cannot reach my internet. I'm like, every day.
That's because he
What'd
tries
you do?
I was DJing live.
Okay.
your copyright.
Yeah, I was playing
saw
copyright
that
music.
recently. Mike Fro recently did a live Holly Springs set, and they were giving him warnings the whole time from the Holly Springs set, saying, and he's just like, "It's my music from my site. What the hell, you know?"
Because it's copyright. So then what I would do is, because the company that I'm doing for, it's all covered. So I would write them, and I would I had to respond to them 8 times. I had to send it in go away. I'm not making money. I own all the music. Go away. And they're like, oh yeah, no, you're right. And then after the 10th time, they're like, banned.
So are you still banned?
Oh yeah.
Do you think maybe it's just an algorithm they have that just catches it? You know what I mean? It's not a person sitting there doing it to you.
It makes me wonder if there's stuff in the song. Because because it picks it up Right. And what I would try and do was the problem is I wrote this on Facebook under the video, but I would try and play a background beat underneath the song. So when you're hearing the song playing, I would cut the bass on the track that I'm playing, the copyright song, but it would be playing like a house beat in the background. So it's playing over top of whatever song that it is, right? So it would try and mask it a bit. And it worked. It worked for 3 times, and then all of a sudden I got banned. And I'm like, no notice, no nothing, just.
Oh God.
Bastards.
Yeah.
They got you.
Yeah.
They got you. So I was gonna ask.
Damn
that,
you, Zuckerberg.
Have you had any really negative feedback for any of you? You're more
Oh, you don't read the comments, do you?
So maybe stuff that isn't so kosher.
Yeah, I've had some. I had a lady get really mad about the "Go Fuck Yourself" because it was called Positive Vibes, and she had a lot to say. And I just sent a really nice message back. Whatever your opinion. I'm trying to think of what else. I had this shirt called "Sex Sells."
Yep.
And it was a
2
'70s
women.
sexploitation kind of film poster.
Yeah.
It was all for fun. It had a whole theme to it. Anyways, I knew a guy who said some dude ripped it off him at a bar and tried to beat him up, and I was like, what? Another one was I had one called "The Mess." So this is a great shirt. So it's the perspective of say you're the dude in a threesome, right? You're looking at the 2 chicks, and you can't see any nudity, but you know exactly what's happening, and it's the guy pulled out and blew all over them. So, anyways, really filthy shirt, but no nudity, nothing, just really cleverly done. And man, I used to get some serious reactions to that. Even if I wore it out and about, everybody knew what was going on with it. So yeah, a little bit of the salty characters on that one.
Oh yeah.
So this is patent pending. Take it if you want it. If you don't like it, send it back. Calm down, Karen. We need calm down, Karen shirts. 100%.
God.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet. Yeah, something like that where Karen ooh, I want to see where you go with it. No, I want to give you my. That'd be awesome. Maybe
I already got my mind working on something, some slogan.
What is it? So
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. I don't even want to hypothesize.
No, I'm not saying another word. I'm gonna let you take it because you're the master. I'm just the one with the stupid.
Yeah. Copyright. Yeah, it's all you. So now that you're getting through COVID and you're still selling stuff a lot. So are you hoping you're just losing income, I guess, basically because you're not going on tour and stuff, but maybe are you seeing a little bit more of an increase on the online shopping, or is it still are you finding it's plateauing?
Everything's good. I don't know. Okay, so let me try and think about how to say this. When I do events, there's a lot of upfront costs, right? But you're fronting that money into the future a decent amount. So you're constantly playing that flip game with that. I'm making good money still, and yeah, maybe it's not as much, but that stress level is down. So it's the money I'm getting right away, I'm not having to put into anything and far down the road, not getting a return on, right?
Right.
So it's being just put into new stock or whatever else I need. So
okay, cool.
It's weird. I probably at the end of the year when I do my books, it'll be less of a profit, but also I didn't spend as much either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot on marketing?
Not a marketing, but I've always been weird with marketing. I'm a punk rock guy. I grew up listening to punk rock. I try to keep that very limited. I always wanted like a word of mouth kind of verbal thing, you know, just spread the word sort of thing. And then that's how the brand has become built. And I think that's why we have so many loyal customers, just because they love that fact of it. But I spend a lot on traveling. Oh yeah, there's a lot of money that goes into that. So
That's like
Are you on Amazon as well, or just your own?
No. Oh no. It's all direct source for me. Like that's the thing. I have people like, are you worried about Amazon? I'm like, no, because you can't get. Like I don't even sell to stores. I used to sell to tattoo shops, and they would sell it, but I pulled it all just because I'm too busy and I want to limit my numbers. I don't want a ton of stuff out there. I want to keep it small.
And you don't put your stuff in shops. I'm sorry, I don't know if I repeated a question, but you don't put yourself like you don't put your stuff in shops without you knowing about it. Like it's like just sitting in like on a shelf somewhere. It's all you know exactly where everything is.
Never.
Yeah.
I used to rep for a few brands in the States, and I did deals with like Detox and stuff like that. And I've had offers from some pretty big. It's very flattering, but it's not where I want to go with the brand. You know what I mean? Like, not to talk shit, but like, you know, Sketchy Tank, right? I was a huge fan of that guy for so long, and then all of a sudden I saw stuff everywhere in the malls, and like, man, somebody's grandma can buy that. I was like, that's a bummer. So, and guess what? 4 years later, I haven't seen much Sketchy Tank lately because you're not the flavor of the month anymore. Yeah. And they just replace you like that, and then you lose all your like core followers, and you like all the mall kids aren't buying your stuff anymore, and it's like, it's just a bad way to do business. I don't like it. Fast fashion is such a cutthroat industry, and I hate it. So
and I think that's why people appreciate it, because it's like they have to go to one place, you put a limited amount of stuff, it's awesome stuff, not everybody's gonna wear it, and then also inside the shirts you have your message that you put in there, like your kind of like your ethos, like you wrote up, like what is it, I can't even remember, but like
okay, so just to be clear, I did steal that from, I don't know if you guys are fans of the almighty Trigger Happy. No, punk band from Toronto. Check them out. They're not active anymore. Well, I think they did a show not that long ago. But anyways, their albums are from like late 90s. Sick ass band. Anyways, so it was they as them. Them is a generalization of anyone who isn't us. We are us. They're them. Fuck them. Don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
So that's what I put in there for years, just because I always loved that message, and I was like, that's how I felt like the brand kind of was too.
Yep.
I did get called out. Well, apparently Al Nolan, the singer, got pissed about it. He didn't say anything in my face about it, but was mad at should talk to my friend or whatever. He's cool now, but like I was like, dude, it was more like a paying homage.
Yeah, that was like a homage.
Like,
yeah.
And anybody who ever asked me, I was always like, it's from them. They didn't even. It's not their original clip either. It's somebody else who said the clip. They just had it as like the intro to an album.
Yeah, man. So it's awesome. Yeah, everything you're putting out. So we just appreciate your brand, and
yeah, it's great stuff. And like I said, I'm gonna keep creeping you. So
yeah, we appreciate you just like.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us and talking with us. Sorry, I hope the weather is getting better over there.
Oh, dude, you're missing the craziest lightning show. I'm like watching it in the background here.
We got it on Tuesday, and it was a mess. Yeah. I'm working nights this week, and it was just the light show. And then at 5:30, it took the power out.
Yeah, but Ottawa always gets hit like up towards Ottawa, that area. Like they always get hit like with the worst.
Well, also, we're like right on the river too, where I am. So it's like I find the weather's always a little bit angrier for some reason. I guess the water. I don't know.
It's a lake effect.
Yeah, the seas are angry.
Yeah, the lake effect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, anyway, man, we just want to say thanks. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'd love to talk to you again soon. After the COVID comebacks on, we'd love to.
We'll have you in studio.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I do. I mean, I frequent Toronto a couple times a year. I'm down there for events. Maybe we could do something.
We'll meet up in Toronto. Yeah. That's easy. We're not that far away.
We will.
Hell yeah.
We'll bring some White Claws. Looks like you're rocking a White Claw there.
Yeah, dude, that's too much beer, man. I put on some weight, so I'm like, White Claw's my diet drink.
Yeah, that's
no judge.
It's COVID. Yeah. It's the COVID-19. You gotta.
I know.
Mine's been.
It's all about trying new things.
Mine's been like, I gotta take it easy on the beer. That's for sure.
Nah,
dude.
Nah.
I'm trying. This is me taking it easy.
All right. That's rad.
Yeah.
That's rad.
It happens.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. You take it easy.
Guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.